They thought they could bury me, thought they could silence me with chains and lies. They thought they could suffocate the fire inside me with their cruelty and arrogance. But they don't understand. They never understood. You don't kill someone like me with pain. You forge me. You sharpen me until I become something they'll never be able to handle. Every blow, every insult, every betrayal, they thought it would break me. But all it did was build the rage, layer by layer, until it's become a force so unstoppable that not even their precious armies will stand against it. They thought they could rule from their thrones, that their power made them invincible. But power isn't in their riches. It's not in the steel of their swords, or the numbers of their men. True power is forged in the fires of suffering, in the depths of darkness, where they've never dared to go. I've walked those depths. I've lived there. And while they sat in their golden halls, thinking they had the world in their grip, I was becoming something more than they could ever comprehend. They see only what's on the surface. They see the scars on my body and think I'm broken. They see the darkness in my eyes and think I'm defeated. But they don't know what real defeat looks like. They will. They will when I come for them. When I stand at their gates, ripping apart everything they thought made them untouchable. They'll understand then that they didn't defeat me. They only made me more dangerous. They'll see that every cut, every wound, was just a step on the path to their destruction. I've been broken more times than they could survive. They couldn't last a day in the hell I've walked through. But here I am, still standing, still breathing, and they'll fall with a single strike. They've grown soft in their towers of glass, thinking they've already won. But they haven't even begun to fight. They've never fought someone like me. They've never had to face a storm like the one I'll bring to their doorstep. They thought their betrayal would be the end of me. Thought that leaving me to rot in the shadows would make me fade away. But they're wrong. I've waited in those shadows, learning, growing, watching their every move. They've made their kingdoms tall, thinking they've risen above everyone else. But the higher they climb, the harder they fall. And I'll be the one to rip them down from their thrones, make them crawl in the dirt where they belong. They've never felt real pain, not like I have. They've never been broken and rebuilt over and over until the only thing left is the will to survive. They don't know what it's like to have everything stripped away, to be reduced to nothing but the raw, burning desire to rise again. But they'll learn. I'll teach them. I'll show them what it means to truly suffer. They'll beg for the end long before I give it to them. And even then, it won't come. Not until they've felt every ounce of the agony they've poured into me. They believe their strength lies in numbers, in their armies and their men. They believe their soldiers will protect them, that their walls will keep me out. But what good are walls against a force that slips through the cracks, that lives in the darkness just beyond their sight? They've forgotten that it's not the biggest army that wins. It's the one with the most will. And I've got more will than they could ever hope to have. I've been broken down to nothing, and still, I stand. Can they say the same? They think they know fear. They think they understand what it means to look death in the eye. But they haven't seen me yet. They haven't seen the fury I carry, the destruction I bring. I am the reckoning they didn't see coming. I am the nightmare they never thought would crawl out of the shadows. They think they've faced monsters, but they've never met a monster like me. I don't come from their stories, their legends. I come from the darkest corners of this world, the places they pretend don't exist. When I return, it won't be as the man they once knew. That man is dead. They killed him, or at least they thought they did. What's coming for them now is something far worse. Something they can't fight with their swords or their shields. It's a force they can't comprehend. A darkness they won't be able to outrun. They think they've seen the worst this world has to offer, but they haven't even begun to understand the depths of what's coming for them.
You're either fighting for something, or you're dying for nothing. And right now, most of you are dying. Every single day. You can hide behind your excuses. You can blame your job, your childhood, your genetics, the weather, your circumstances, whatever story you've been telling yourself to justify why you're stuck. But deep down, you know that's just noise. You're not trapped. You're scared. You're scared of failure, scared of change, scared of stepping out of the comfortable prison you built around yourself. So, you have two choices. You can either fight for something, or you can die for nothing. That's it. There's no middle ground, no gray area. You're either in the game, or you're not. You're either willing to put everything on the line, or you're not. And if you're not, you might as well already be dead, because you're not living. You're just existing, and existing isn't enough. It's never been enough. Wake up to reality. You've got to wake up and decide, are you going to fight, or are you going to let life steamroll you into nothingness? Because that's the default setting, man. Look around. People are living half-lives. slowly wasting away in a prison of their own making. They wake up, they eat the same breakfast, they drag themselves to some dead-end job they hate, they come home, they numb out in front of the TV, and then they do it all again the next day. They've already lost the fight, and they don't even know it. Life ain't some fairy tale with a happy ending. There's no montage where you suddenly get it all together. It's ugly. It's brutal. It's a battle every damn day. And if you're not willing to get in the mud and fight for something that matters, you're gonna get buried by this world. You see people on Instagram living these picture-perfect lives, flexing their bodies, showing off their success, and you sit there scrolling, feeling small, feeling worthless, because you're not where they are. But they're fighting battles you don't see. Nobody posts their failures. Nobody posts their pain. If you want that kind of life, you've got to be willing to fight for it. Not once, not twice, every damn day. You want to know why most people never make it? Excuses. They got a million of them. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I've got responsibilities. You know what that is? That's fear, dressed up as reason. Every excuse is just a fancy way of saying, oh, I'm not willing to fight. You see, there's a warrior inside each and every one of us, but most people never let that warrior out. They keep him locked up, chained down by fear, doubt, and insecurity. They let the world tell them who they are, what they can do, and how far they can go. They live their lives by someone else's rules, and they die with regret in their hearts. But not you. Not anymore. From this moment on, you fight. You fight for your dreams, for your goals, for your life. You fight like your life depends on it. Because it does. You've got to be willing to die for something. Because if you're not, you'll die for nothing. And I'm not just talking about physically dying. I'm talking about your spirit, your soul, your fire. That's what dies when you don't fight. That's what withers away when you give up. You've got to get out there and take them. You've got to be willing to bleed, to suffer, to push through the pain. And when you think you can't go any further, that's when you dig deeper. That's when you find out what you're really made of. Because the truth is, you're capable of more than you can possibly imagine. But you'll never know that unless you fight for it. Pain is the point. Pain is proof you're alive. Pain is your body, your mind, your spirit telling you, I'm in this. But you've been trained to run from it. You've been taught to avoid discomfort, to stay in your safe little bubble. And that's why you're stuck. That's why you're dying inside. Forget about everyone else. Your only competition is you, the weaker version of yourself, the one that wants to sleep in, the one that wants to quit when things get hard. That version of you is your enemy, and you have to kill it every day. You have to fight it every morning when you wake up. You have to fight it when you're tired, when you're sore, when you're scared. It's a battle that never ends, and that's the way it should be. Because every time you beat that weaker version of yourself, you get stronger. Every time you fight, you grow. And that's how you become unstoppable. That's how you go from merely surviving to truly living. There's a clock ticking on all of us, a countdown to the end. And the truth is, most people don't even start living until it's too late. They get to the end, look back, and realize they spent their whole life waiting. Waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the perfect moment that never comes. They die full of regrets, full of what ifs and maybes. You don't want that. You don't want to die full of things you never did because you were too scared to fight for them. You've got to find something worth fighting for. I don't care what it is. It could be your dreams, your family, your legacy. Hell, it could be proving every person who doubted you wrong. But you need something. Something that lights a fire in your gut and makes you get up when you've been knocked down 100 times. Something that makes the pain worth it. Without that, you're just drifting. Without that, you're already dead inside. The pain, the fear, the doubt, they're nothing compared to the feeling of knowing you gave it your all. So get up. Fight for something. Fight like your life depends on it. Because at the end of the day, it does. And if you're not willing to fight, then you might as well lie down and die right now.
When I first picked up that sword, when I first decided I wasn't gonna let this world chew me up and spit me out like some forgotten piece of trash, I thought the struggle would end someday. I thought I'd reach a point where everything would just fall into place, where the pain would finally stop, where the darkness would lift, and I could finally breathe easy. But that's just a fairy tale, a fool's dream that's as real as the monsters we face in our nightmares. The truth, it's hard, and it's ugly, and it never stops. I've learned the hard way that we can't sit around waiting for some magical moment, some perfect opportunity to just knock on our door. That ain't how it works. Not in this messed up world. There ain't no savior coming, no miracle on the horizon. It's just us. Out here in the cold, in the dark, fighting tooth and nail for every damn inch. We gotta be the ones to create those chances. Even if it means tearing through hell to get there. You think you can just sit back, wait for the right time, the right place? Nah, that ain't real. The truth is, opportunities don't come to those who wait. They die waiting. And the truth is, if you're sitting on your ass, hoping something good's gonna happen, you're just wasting away, rotten from the inside out. Every day you wait, every day you hesitate, you're losing ground, you're losing time, you're losing yourself. It's now or never. This is my real beginning. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. There ain't no time to waste, no time to sit around, wait for life to give us a break. Life doesn't give breaks, it breaks us. We gotta fight for what we want. Claw our way through the darkness even when it feels like the whole damn world's against us, and it is, trust me. But that's when you dig deep, when you find that fire inside, and you start carving your own path. You make You create your own future because no one else is gonna do it for you. But it's hard, man. It's hard knowing that no one's coming to save you. That every step you take, you're doing it alone. And it hurts. God, it hurts so damn much. Every day, it feels like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. Like I'm being crushed under the pressure, the pain, the fear. And sometimes, I just want to give up. Let it all go. Let the darkness take me. But I can't. I won't. 'Cause giving up, that's the easy way out. That's what the weak do. But I'm a warrior. And warriors don't quit. We don't give in to the pain, to the fear, to the darkness. We keep fighting, no matter what. Pain's just part of it. It's the price we pay for living, for trying to make something out of this chaos. And through all that pain, through all that darkness, you gotta believe that there's hope. Even if it's buried so deep, you can barely see it. You gotta hold on to that tiny flicker of light, 'cause that's what's gonna keep you going when everything else falls apart. The world's a twisted place, but you gotta be twisted right back. Stronger, harder. We can't give in to the darkness, can't let it swallow us whole. There's always a way out, always a way to push through. But you gotta be willing to fight for it, to bleed for it. Nothing's given, not a damn thing. Every breath, every step, you gotta earn it. And that's why we can't just wait around, hoping for something to happen. We gotta make it happen. That's the warrior way. That's what separates us from the rest. We take the hits. We fall. But we get back up over and over again till we get what we came for. It's easy to get lost in the details, to feel overwhelmed by everything going on. But that's life, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when you must decide what you're truly worth a moment, when you must choose between holding on to someone who doesn't value you or walking away with your head held high. It's never easy to let go, especially when your heart is invested, but sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away with your dignity intact. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness. It's a declaration of strength. It's a choice to refuse to be treated as less than you deserve. It's knowing your value and refusing to let anyone diminish it. When someone takes you for granted, disrespects you, or continually leaves you feeling unworthy, the strongest response isn't to fight for their approval. It's to walk away and protect your dignity. Your dignity is more precious than any relationship.
It's the part of you that knows you're worthy of love, respect, and kindness. When you hold on to people who hurt you, manipulate you, or make you feel small, you're giving them the power to chip away at your self-respect. You start to doubt yourself, question your value, and sometimes even blame yourself for their behavior, but deep down, you know that you deserve better. There's a certain kind of peace that comes with walking away. Even when it's hard, it's the peace of knowing that you didn't settle, that you didn't compromise your standards just to keep someone in your life who didn't truly see your worth. It's the peace of knowing that you chose yourself over the comfort of staying in a situation that was tearing you down. When you walk away with your dignity intact, you're choosing self-love over the need for validation from someone who was never willing to give it. You're choosing to respect yourself enough to let go of anyone who doesn't treat you with the care and consideration you deserve. And yes, it might hurt at first. There may be moments when you question whether you did the right thing. But trust me, in the long run, nothing feels better than knowing you held onto your self-respect. People who don't appreciate you may try to guilt you, manipulate you, or make you feel like you're wrong for leaving, but that's only because they're losing something they didn't realize they needed until it was gone. They may not understand why you're walking away, but that's not for them to understand. Your decision is about protecting your heart, your peace, and your dignity. Walking away is not about pride, it's about self-worth. It's about knowing that you don't need to stay where you're not valued, loved, or respected. It's about refusing to allow someone else's mistreatment to define your self-worth. When you walk away, you're saying, I am worthy of more than this, and I refuse to accept anything less. In time, you'll see that walking away was the best decision you could have made. You'll realize that your peace of mind, your self-respect, and your dignity were worth far more than any relationship that made you feel less than you are. You'll understand that you've created space in your life for the right people to enter, people who see your value and treat you with the love and respect you deserve. So, walk away with grace, walk away with your dignity intact. Don't let anyone steal the light inside you or make you question your worth. You're stronger than you think, and you deserve so much more than settling for someone who doesn't see the beauty in you. Remember, the real victory isn't in winning someone back who didn't appreciate you. The real victory is in choosing to value yourself enough to walk away, and in that walk, you're not losing anything, you're gaining everything. So hold your head up high, because you made the right decision of walking away from that toxic person that didn't see your worth in the first place and chose to manipulate you instead of loving you the way you are.
You know what, man? You're nothing but a shadow, a ghost haunting the corners of this God-forsaken world. You walk these streets like you belong, but deep down, you know you're invisible. You ain't even a blip on the radar. You're just a nobody, a washed-up dreamer with nothing but regrets and shattered hopes. Look around. Do you see anyone? Anyone who gives a damn about you? No, because you're alone. Always have been. Always will be. You think you're tough, huh? Think you can take on the world all by yourself? Well, newsflash, genius. The world doesn't give a damn about you. It's out there chewing up people like you and spitting them out without a second thought. But you keep pretending like you matter. You keep fighting like you've got something to prove. But to who? To what? Yourself. The people who abandoned you. The universe that forgot you exist. You blame the world for your problems. Oh, the world's so unfair, right? Life's been rough on you, huh? Poor little you, always the victim. Well, screw that. You think anyone cares about your sob story? You think the universe is just gonna hand you a break because you've had it tough? Hell no. It's time to wake up and face the music. You've been hiding behind excuses, behind your pain. But it's time to own up. You messed up. You screwed up big time. You let people walk all over you, let life beat you down. And now you're here, wallowing in your own self-pity. Look at yourself. Really look. What do you see? A broken man, a loser who couldn't cut it. A man who let every damn opportunity slip through his fingers because he was too scared, too weak. But you know what? That's over. No more pity parties, no more whining. It's time to man up, to rise from the ashes of your own pathetic existence. You want to be something? You want to prove them all wrong? Then do it. Get up off your sorry ass and fight. Fight like there's no tomorrow, because guess what? For you, there might not be. The clock's ticking, man. Every second you waste feeling sorry for yourself is a second you'll never get back. You want to be remembered? You want to leave a mark? Then make every damn second count. You're stronger than this. You're tougher than you think. You've survived hell, and you're still standing. But survival ain't enough. You gotta thrive. You gotta push harder, dig deeper, and claw your way out of this pit of despair. No one's gonna do it for you. No one's coming to save you. It's all on you. Every punch life throws at you, take it. Every setback, every failure, wear it like a badge of honor. Let it fuel you, drive you. Turn that pain into power, that loneliness into a weapon. You're not just fighting for yourself anymore. You're fighting for every person who ever doubted you. Every person who left you for dead. Prove them wrong. Show them that you're not just a shadow, a ghost. Show them you're a force to be reckoned with. Look in the mirror. See that fire in your eyes? That's the real you. The you that's been buried under years of hurt and disappointment. Unleash it. Let it burn away the weakness, the fear. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, so go out there and take what's yours. Demand respect. Earn it. Own it. Make them see you. Make them remember you. This world is a battlefield, and you're a warrior, a lone wolf. Embrace it. Use that loneliness, that isolation. Let it make you unstoppable. You don't need anyone's approval, anyone's validation. You are enough. You always have been. You just needed to realize it. Get up. Stand tall. Walk out of that shadow and into the light. It's time to show the world who you really are. It's time to rise, to conquer, to become the legend you were meant to be. And remember, the only person who can stop you is you. So don't. Fight, claw, tear your way to the top. Because you deserve it. You owe it to yourself. And when you reach the summit, when you stand victorious, remember this moment. Remember the darkness, the pain. Let it remind you of how far you've come, how much you've overcome. Wear it like armor. Let it strengthen you, because you are a warrior, and warriors don't quit. They fight, they endure, they conquer. And that's exactly what you're going to do. Now go out there and show the world what you're made of.
Show them that the darkness couldn't hold you, that the loneliness couldn't break you. Show them that you are unstoppable.
Look in the mirror. Seriously, stop whatever the hell you're doing and look in the mirror. Stare right into your own eyes. What do you see? Is it the person you've always wanted to be? Or is it someone you barely recognize? Someone who's taken the easy road one too many times? That person looking back at you, that's your worst enemy. Yeah, I said it. Your biggest threat ain't out there. It ain't some dude on the street. It's not your boss, your friends, or your circumstances. It's right there, staring back at you every damn day. It's the person you're letting yourself become because you're too damn scared to become who you were meant to be. You wake up every morning and you know what the hell you need to do. You know what's right. But you're so wrapped up in your own bullshit that you keep betraying yourself. You're running from the pain, from the struggle, from the grind. But let me tell you something. Running only makes the monster bigger. You're feeding it. You're giving it power. And every time you back down, every time you choose comfort over growth, you're betraying the person you were meant to become. Most people think life is supposed to be easy. They think success comes without pain, without suffering. Man, get that weak-ass mindset out of your head right now. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. Not a single thing. If you want something, you gotta be willing to suffer for it. You gotta bleed for it. You gotta be willing to sacrifice every bit of comfort to get it. But most of you are soft. You're looking for shortcuts. You want the six-pack without the sweat, the knowledge without the grind, the victory without the battle. And that's why you're losing. That's why you're stuck. That's why you wake up every morning hating yourself just a little bit more. You're living a lie. You're betraying the very core of who you are because you're too damn afraid to embrace the pain that comes with growth. You're afraid to be uncomfortable, afraid to be different, afraid to push past your limits because it might hurt. Guess what? It's supposed to hurt. Pain is the path to power. Suffering is the key to success. If you're not suffering, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. Simple as that. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming the world for your failures. Look in that mirror again and ask yourself, are you really doing everything you can? Are you really pushing as hard as you know you should? Or are you betraying the person you could have been because you're too damn weak to handle the truth? You say you want to be great. You say you want to succeed. But your actions, they don't match your words. You're sitting there, waiting for something to happen, waiting for life to give you what you think you deserve. But life doesn't care about what you deserve. Life cares about what you're willing to earn. If you want to be successful, then start living like it. Start acting like it. Stop betraying yourself. Start doing the hard shit, the stuff you keep avoiding because it's uncomfortable, because it's painful. That's where greatness lives. That's where you find out what you're really made of. But most of you won't do it. Most of you will hear these words and go right back to your old habits, your old excuses. You'll keep betraying yourself because it's easier to stay the same. It's easier to stay comfortable. But comfort is a slow death. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Every time you choose comfort, you're choosing to stay small. You're choosing to stay weak. You're choosing to betray the person you were meant to be. Think about that. Think about all the times you've let yourself off the hook, all the times you've settled for less than you're capable of. Think about the person you could have been if you had just been willing to suffer a little more, to push a little harder. That person is still inside you, screaming to be let out, but you keep burying them deeper and deeper under layers of fear, doubt, and excuses. You think you've got time. You think you can put it off, that someday you'll get serious, someday you'll step up. But let me tell you something. Someday is a damn lie. Someday isn't coming. All you have is right now, this moment, this decision. Are you going to keep betraying yourself, or are you going to step up and be the person you were meant to be? The choice is yours. But know this: every time you choose comfort over growth, every time you choose to stay the same instead of evolving, you're killing a part of yourself. You're betraying your potential. You're betraying your future. And one day, you're going to wake up and realize that the person you could have been is gone, and all that's left is a shadow of what you could have been. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can change. You can stop the betrayal right now. You can choose to suffer, to struggle, to push through the pain and become the person you were meant to be. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick. It's going to take everything you've got and then some, but the rewards are worth it. The satisfaction of knowing that you didn't betray yourself, that you didn't settle, that you became the person you were meant to be, that's priceless. The choice is yours, but don't take too long to make it, because every second you waste, every excuse you make, is another nail in the coffin of the person you could have been. Look in that mirror one more time. Look into your own eyes and decide. Decide if you're going to keep betraying the person you were meant to be, or if you're finally going to step up, embrace the pain, and become the warrior you were born to be.
In the endless cycle of monotony, it's easy to get comfortable, isn't it? To let the days blend into each other, to let the years slip by unnoticed. But deep inside, there's a part of you that's screaming, clawing, begging for something more. You see, comfort is the enemy of progress. It lulls you into a false sense of security, convinces you that you're doing just fine, when, in reality, you're standing still. Look around you. Everything is changing, evolving, moving forward. The world doesn't wait for anyone. It's brutal, relentless, and unforgiving. And if you don't adapt, if you don't force yourself to break free from the chains of your own making, you'll be left behind. The truth is, nothing changes if nothing changes. You want a better life? You want success, happiness, fulfillment? Then you need to fight for it. You need to be willing to step into the darkness, to face your fears head on, and to embrace the pain that comes with growth. Every dream you have, every goal you set, it's all meaningless unless you take action. It's time to wake up from the dream, to shatter the illusion that life is just going to hand you what you want. It won't. You have to take it. You have to wrestle it from the grip of complacency and mediocrity. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast abyss, looking down into the unknown. It's terrifying, isn't it? But that's where your potential lies. That's where the real change happens. You must leap into that darkness, knowing full well that it might consume you, but also knowing that if you don't, you'll be stuck in the same place forever, haunted by the ghosts of what could have been. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. You can either let it break you, or you can use it to fuel your ascent. Every setback, every failure is a lesson. It's a test to see how badly you want it. How far are you willing to go? How much are you willing to endure to transform your dreams into reality? Rise from the ashes of your past. Become the architect of your future. Don't just talk about change. Be the change. Because in the end, when the darkness closes in and you're left with nothing but your own reflection, you'll know that you fought for something greater, that you didn't just let life happen to you. You happened to life. So stand up. Embrace the darkness and make the change. Remember, transformation is born in the shadows of discomfort and fear. Face it, conquer it, and let it forge you into something unstoppable.
You know what this world is? It's a battlefield. Every damn day is a war, and you better be ready to bleed. Dreams ain't free. They come with a price paid in blood, sweat, and tears. You think it's easy? You think you can just stroll through life and have everything handed to you? Nah, man. It's wartime, and if you ain't fighting, you're dying. I look back at my life, and all I see is a trail of broken dreams and shattered hopes. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I was a warrior, someone who could take on the world and come out on top. But I was a fool. I was blind to the cold, harsh reality of it all. I made mistakes, man. So many mistakes. I hurt people, pushed them away, all in the name of chasing something that was always just out of reach. I thought I could protect everyone, be their shield. But in the end, I couldn't even protect myself. The world doesn't care about your dreams, your hopes, your desires. It chews you up and spits you out. And you're left standing there bleeding, wondering where it all went wrong. Past, it's a haunting thing. Every mistake, every failure, it sticks with you like a scar that never heals. I see their faces, the ones I let down, the ones I couldn't save. I thought I was strong, but I was weak. I let my pride, my arrogance, blind me. I thought I could do it all alone, but nobody can. Not in this cold, unforgiving world. The world is a cruel place. It's a place where dreams go to die, where hope is a fleeting whisper lost in the wind. It's cold, man. So damn cold. It wraps around you, suffocates you, drains the life out of you. And you have to fight every single day just to keep your head above water. I used to believe in something. I used to have hope. But hope is a dangerous thing. It makes you believe in lies, makes you think that things will get better. But the truth is, things don't get better. They get worse, and you have to be ready to face that, to fight through it. I've made so many mistakes. I've let the darkness consume me, let it turn me into something I never wanted to be. I thought I was a warrior, but I became a monster. I hurt the ones I loved, pushed them away because I thought I was protecting them. But all I did was build walls. Walls that now seem impossible to break down. And I blame myself. I blame myself for everything. For every tear shed, for every heart broken. I let my dreams, my desires, cloud my judgment. I thought I was invincible, but I was just a fool. A fool lost in a cold, dark world. But you know what? You can't let the darkness win. You can't let this cold, cruel world take everything from you. You have to fight with every drop of blood, with every ounce of strength. You have to push forward, even when it feels like you're being crushed under the weight of it all. It's wartime, and you can't back down. You have to stand up, face your demons, and fight. Fight for your dreams. Fight for your future. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna bleed. But you can't give up. You can't let the world break you. I look in the mirror and I see the person I've become. The lines on my face, the pain in my eyes. It's a reminder of every battle fought, every war waged. I've become someone I never wanted to be. Someone bitter, broken, lost. But I can't let that be the end of my story. The world is cold. So damn cold. But you have to find a way to keep the fire burning inside you. You have to find a reason to keep fighting, to keep pushing forward. Because if you don't, then what's the point? What's the point of it all? I've lost so much, but I can't let that define me. I can't let my mistakes, my failures, be the end. I have to keep fighting for myself, for the ones I've lost. I have to find a way to make things right, to redeem myself. The world is harsh, unforgiving. It doesn't care about your dreams, your hopes. But you can't let that stop you. You have to fight with everything you have. You have to be willing to bleed, to suffer, to endure, because that's the only way to make it through. I know it's hard. I know it feels like the weight of the world is crushing you, but you can't give up. You can't let the darkness win. You have to keep fighting, keep pushing forward, no matter how cold, no matter how dark it gets. Because at the end of the day, that's all we have. The fight, the struggle, the hope that maybe, just maybe, we can find a way to break through the cold, to find warmth, to find light. It's a long shot, a fool's dream, but it's all we've got. Here's to the warriors, the ones who refuse to give up. Here's to the ones who keep fighting, even when the world feels like it's falling apart. Here's to the ones who bleed, who suffer, who endure, all in the name of chasing their dreams. We may be broken, we may be lost, but we are warriors, and we will fight with every drop of blood, with every ounce of strength. We will push forward through the cold, through the darkness, because that's what it means to be a warrior. To never give up, to never back down, to keep fighting no matter what. It's wartime, and we are ready. Ready to bleed, ready to fight, ready to endure, because in the end, that's all that matters. The fight, the struggle, the hope that we can find a way through the cold, to find warmth, to find light. It's a long shot, a fool's dream. But it's all we've got, and we'll hold on to it with everything we have. Because that's what it means to be a warrior. To fight, to bleed, to endure, to never give up, to never back down, to keep pushing forward, no matter what. It's wartime, and we are ready. Ready to fight, ready to bleed, ready to endure. Because that's who we are. That's what we do. We are warriors, and we will never.
You see, every second you waste is a second closer to your grave. Time is the greatest illusion. Every second you waste, someone else is hustling, grinding, building their empire. While you're scrolling through social media, living vicariously through other people's highlights, someone else is taking the steps you're too scared to do. Your dreams are rotting in your mind, and you're letting them die. You've got potential, but potential means nothing if you don't act on it. It's not about having the perfect plan or waiting for the stars to align. It's about taking what you have right now and making the damn most of it. Grind. And it's not for the faint-hearted. Grinding is the raw, unpolished hustle that separates the winners from the spectators. It's the relentless pursuit of your goals, even when every fiber of your being screams for comfort. Grinding is waking up before the sun has the audacity to hit snooze. It's the sweat on your brow when you're pushing past your limits. But you don't. You grind harder. It's the darkness before dawn, where champions are forged not on fluffy pillows of ease, but on the anvil of hard work and sheer willpower. Life is suffering. It's not a popular statement. It's not a gentle pat on the back. It's but it's the raw reality. And once you accept it, once you look it in the eye, you can start to take control. Suffering is the price of ambition, the cost of discipline, the currency of success. It's the fire that tempers the steel of your will. You think the greats of this world got to where they are by lounging around, sipping on sweet tea. No, they suffered, they grinded, they faced down their demons and danced with them until they led the waltz. Sacrifice isn't pretty. It's not glamorous. It's the gritty, back-breaking work that happens when everyone else has gone to sleep. It's the choices you make when you're staring into the abyss, and the abyss is staring right back, daring you to blink. It's the toll you pay on the road to greatness. You think success comes free? You think those at the top haven't given up more than you can imagine? The difference between you and them is simple. They understood that to hold the trophy high, every step forward is a fight. Every dream. And what do you need? Strategy? No. You need the will to sacrifice. Because when the dust settles, it's not just about who's standing. It's about what they gave up to still be standing. Sacrifice. To get a head start on your dreams. It's the sweat on your brow, the ache in your muscles, and the fire in your belly that burns through excuses like paper. Sacrifice is love in its most raw form. It's a love for something greater than yourself. It's a love that consumes you, drives you, and ultimately defines you. It's the kind of love that demands everything. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give to get where you want to be? Because make no mistake, the path to your dreams is paved with pieces of yourself that you've left behind. And the further you go, the more you'll have to leave. And the vision of who you want to become. And like all investments, it requires patience, persistence, and sacrifice is the choice to endure pain for a purpose, is the understanding that temporary discomfort is the price of permanent change. It's the decision to forge ahead when every fiber of your being is screaming for comfort, for ease, for the assurance of the familiar. In the end, sacrifice is about what you gain, not what you lose. It's about the strength you find when you have nothing left. It's about the person you become when you're stripped down to nothing but your ambition, your determination, and your courage. I'll ask you again, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because if the answer is anything but my dreams, then welcome to the grind. Welcome to the fight. Welcome to the life of sacrifice. And trust me, it's worth every damn moment.